Hi, this is Amy from Tapping with Amy, and today, by request, I'm going to be doing a tapping round on how to deal with anxiety. This is something that affects a lot of people, and even if they don't want to call it anxiety, you can always substitute in the word stress, and a lot of people suffer with the symptoms of anxiety. There's a couple things I want to say about this before we do a tapping round. The first of which is, when you are experiencing some sort of anxiety symptoms in the moment, whether it's shortness of breath or inability to focus, your heart is racing, something along those lines, it's usually not the cause of the problem. It's a symptom. So it will never disappear by doing the tapping rounds that we're going to be doing in a moment. Although that will help. It's a great tool to get yourself through the moment, to lower cortisol levels and get you to a place where you're feeling more calm. So tapping is indispensable and it's important to use in the moment. But dealing with the cause is going to be your greatest chance of eliminating anxiety attacks altogether. So, and it's usually something that has occurred long ago, and over time it has, the effects of that have accumulated, and so now you have anxiety about a lot of different things. Or it could be even isolated to a few separate things, but regardless, do your best to deal with the cause. And if you need help figuring out what the cause is, please email me. We can do a free, it's called a Clarity Strategy Action Session, where we figure out what the cause of the problem is. We develop a strategy on how to release all of the issues, and then we discuss like a few options for how to take action on it. So please email me, amy@tappingwithamy.com, and hopefully this is something that you and I can approach together and get you out of the place where you're experiencing anxiety attacks at all. That's really my goal, is to get to the core issue, the cause of the problem, not the symptoms. But like I said, you do need a tool in the moment. Now, the second thing I want to say about anxiety attacks or symptoms of anxiety is that it is really a problem of having all of your energy in your head and thinking too much as opposed to feeling. And how do you get yourself back into a feeling place? Well, one of the things that you can do is just take deep breaths and just focus on your breathing. So breathing in and focusing on all of the air coming in, focusing on your belly, expanding and then retracting as you're breathing out. Those are important elements as well. And I would try focusing on that for a while. And it's challenging in the moment, because your thoughts are probably racing, and it's that seems like the last thing that you want to do or take time to do. But if you can focus for a couple of minutes, spend your energy, just focus on your breath going in and out, I promise you it will help. And if you need to go an extra step beyond that, try doing some sort of movement. So doing the breathing, ideally with something like yoga, where it incorporates breathing and some gentle movements to get you feeling back in your body as opposed to thinking in your head, is really going to be a key for you, in addition to tapping. I think I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating in that when you are tapping, no matter what you're saying, no matter what phrases you're using, repeater phrases or anything along those lines, you will be reducing your cortisol levels. So over time with tapping, you can't help but be calmer. So that's what's great about tapping in these moments. It is an indispensable tool for anxiety attacks. But those two things, please try and address the cause of the problem, because that will hopefully eliminate, if not all of your anxiety attacks, the majority of them. And the second thing is to focus on being in your body. Get out of your head, get out of the thoughts about future or past, and get present. And the best way to do that is deep breathing and or some movement like yoga. Even stomping around sometimes really gets your energy back in your body and focuses you in a place where you can feel as opposed to thinking. Most people try to think their way out of an anxiety attack, and that's the exact thing that has created it. So now, excuse me. All right, let's do a tapping round. And before we do that, I want you to try and tune into your body, figure out where you're at, 0 to 10 on a scale. If 0 is you're feeling absolutely calm, and 10 is like the worst case scenario, so anxious, don't know what to do with yourself. So where are you on that scale, 0 to 10? And then you're gonna rate yourself. So for example, if you're at a 6 right now, you're gonna go through this next tapping round, and then maybe you move down to a 4 or a 5, and that will give you a gauge about how much more you need to do in order to get yourself down to 0, because that's what we want. We want to collapse those feelings altogether. So use the scale, if 0 to 10, see where you're at. And then I also want you to check in with your body. Where are you experiencing the anxiety? Are you experiencing in your chest? Are you experiencing in your tummy? Where is it? Pay attention to that, and feel free to substitute in whatever I'm saying so that you can address your exact issues, because that will just make it more effective. Okay, so let's get started on a round of tapping. And as always, take responsibility for your own health in this process. And if you want to join me, you can. And you can just tap where I tap and repeat after me. Okay. Just as a side note, I have stopped doing the intro on the karate chop, and I've just started going directly into tapping on other energy points, and it seems to be just as effective. So I hope that's the case for you, but if not, you can add an even though statement at the beginning, and maybe that will increase your results. But we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So tap where I tap and say what I say. All this anxiety in my body. I'm experiencing all this anxiety in my body. Shortness of breath. I'm having trouble taking a deep breath. This tightness in my chest. This stress in my belly. And I don't know what caused it. Maybe I do know what caused it, but I feel powerless to stop it now. It feels out of control. This feeling of anxiety. All this anxiousness in my body. I'm having a hard time breathing, and I don't know what to do about it. I feel so out of control, and it doesn't feel safe. I feel so unsafe in this moment. So out of control. And so scared. I don't know how to stop it. I feel powerless to stop it. This extreme reaction in my body. I just want to honor everything that I'm feeling right now. I honor all the fear. I honor that I don't feel safe. I honor that I feel totally out of control. And I would love to feel calm right now. I would just love to feel so calm. It would be so nice to take a nice deep breath. But I don't even know if that's possible for me right now. All this fear running through my body. All this anxiety running through my body. It just doesn't feel safe. I feel so out of control. Shortness of breath. This tightness in my chest. This tightness in my belly. My body is reacting and I don't know what the cause is. Or maybe I do know what the cause is, but I don't want to deal with it. All this fear. I deeply honor everything that I'm going through right now. And I would just love to feel so calm. I would love to take a nice deep breath. And I would love to have my heart slow down and be present again. I honor everything that I'm feeling. I honor everything that my body is experiencing. I want to choose to be calm in this moment. Okay. Take a nice deep breath. Now, if you had any thoughts for you coming up while we were doing the tapping, there might be clues as to what you need to focus on for the cause of the problem. And if not, no worries. But I do want you to rate yourself again, 0 to 10. If you were at a 6 or a 7, has the number gone down? Has it gone up? Has it activated it more now that you're focusing on it? Either response is totally normal, but it's a good gauge for you to know how much more you need to focus on it. So if you went down, maybe a point or two, that's great, you're on the right track. If you went up a point or two, that just means that you're focusing in on something that you're not comfortable with. And it's increasing your charge a little bit, but that doesn't mean you should stop. In fact, that means that you should continue. Because like I said, with continued tapping, no matter what you're saying, your cortisol levels are gonna go down, and that's gonna help you feel more calm. So please email me, amy@tappingwithamy.com, and I'd be so honored to discover the cause of the problems with you and to address them so that it doesn't continue to be a problem. So thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.